Woo! Okay, welcome to today's session. I was really thinking over a few different things, and before I jump into my notes, I wanted to share something. Um, it can be very easy for us to feel overwhelmed and very, very frustrated. Myself today, I had a thought, and Bethany, you don't know me as well as my these two other ladies do, but I cry a lot, so just bear with me as I like flush out all the feelings. Um, but one of the things that I was really, really going over today, I was sitting with my kid and I was thinking, God, there is nothing special about me that will make people want to be with me. And it was one of those like thoughts. It's like, there's nothing special about me. Ah. And then I just felt like the spirit tell me, like, I'm not calling you to be special. I'm calling you to be consistent. Just show up. And it was one of those things like, yeah, I don't need to what is special? Like, and obviously everyone wants to feel special, and there's people that love them, and there's people that care for them, and everyone has their like unique group of people that surround them and like, this is special to me. And we all have that. But we don't always feel special, and we can get in our own brains thinking that special is a feeling, that special is like a beacon over our head, when in reality, the only thing required for any kind of success is consistency. Consistency to your care, and consistency to what you believe can happen and the action steps that will get us there. So I worked with ChatGPT and I was like, this is my brain right now. Let's put together a little coaching for our team of women that might be dealing with the same thing. Because the reality is, growing a business 100% on social media is hard. It's hard. At no point will it ever be easy. Like you might feel like you've got something, and I'll tell you, for a majority of 2024, I felt like I've got this dialed in. I'm cranking it. The early part of 2024, there was a lot of, I don't know what I'm doing. What do I say if I say I'll DM you? What are the people saying in the DMs? And it was a lot of searching and figuring out what is it that I'm supposed to say. And then around April or May, I dialed in. This is my conversation flow. This is how I talk to other people. This is how I engage in new conversations. And then my team started growing, growing, growing. And I had to dial back my single person push and turn to I have a team, and my team needs to be able to do it, and I need to be able to guide them into doing it. And so then enter 2025, and I'm like, okay, here I am again. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing again. And so it's just the layer upon layer upon layer of understanding that first we start by ourselves, then we start as a team, and then we have a team of teams, and then we and it just keeps going up and up and up, and we just keep learning on each and every level. So one of the things I want to acknowledge is that growing a social media following and earning an income online is not easy. It takes perseverance, it takes grit. You can't you can't coach grit into a person. The people either want it and develop it on their own, or they don't. I can't convince you that you want this. You have to decide in your heart if you want this. If you genuinely want to see the success that many, many other women have seen. No one else can do it for you. And many times we feel like quitting, but deep down, deep, deep down, we know there's more out there for us. I know there's more out there for me. I know what I'm called to do is so much bigger than where I'm at right now. And so the first thing I want to talk about is the trap of fake effort. So what's worse than quitting? What's worse than just saying, I'm done. I'm gonna do something else. It's convincing yourself that you're showing up when you're not really doing it. Because when you haven't shown up, but you're convincing yourself that you have, you're not taking action steps and you're not like for anything. You're not taking the action steps for this business or for the other one. You're in a limbo land of I'm doing the work. I'm doing what it takes, but in reality, are you really? And only you can determine if what you're doing right now in this moment is the work you need to be doing. Because we're all mamas here. We've got the kids, we've got the house, we've got the homeschooling, many of us. We have like all the things that just to be successful in our home, we have to do. And then on top of that is, okay, the action steps that will bring us to the top of our company. But so if we were to analyze ourselves in our actions in our day to day, could we have swapped? Ooh, I'll call myself out. Could I have swapped that one more episode of Chicago Med for doing more outreach? Could I? And even that, it takes me 3 days to finish an episode. So like it's not like it's stretched. But could I have swapped it? I could have. It's those little things where like, okay, am I truly showing up in the way then I need to show up, understanding that with with more responsibility comes more requirements. There's more things as a leader of leaders that may be required of me right now in this moment. So let's talk about the power of practical daily actions. Growth doesn't come from wishing. It doesn't come from just wanting things badly. It comes from intentional action. And these are one of some of those things where like sometimes it can be hard because I don't know what to do. When we don't know what action steps to take, what am I going to do to be successful? And some of the things that I did early on, early 2024, since we're talking about social media, early on, I began to follow Trisha Rager, Brittany Howard, and literally what they did, I did. If Trisha talks about the business opportunity in her stories, I talked about it in my stories. If Trisha made a post or a reel about how Plexus helped her gut health, I made a reel or a post about how Plexus helped my gut health. And then in the DMs, I had to figure that one out on my own because Trisha didn't tell me what to do. But so from there, then I started watching training call after training call after training call. And I actually have a training call for you in my YouTube channel where it says, okay, they say yes, they want more info. Now what? Keep listening to that one over and over again until it's in you. Of like, even if it's someone you know, it can be very, very, very easy to just spew excitement and say, oh, this is a sure thing. And then we just completely derail it because we just came at it like a train. We just bulldozed right over the fact that your person had questions, concerns, had they didn't know the pricing of your product. So like them saying, yeah, I want to do it. I gotta do it. Girl, I need this. And they don't know the price. You better slow it down because they still have a budget and all the things. Okay. But taking the time of self-growth. So listening to Brittany Howard's podcast, scrolling all the way to the beginning of her podcast, because she starts just so many episodes where she just starts with um delving into practical steps that you do to be successful, just in general, framework, systems, mindsets. So, and she's on Spotify and on Apple, whatever the Apple one is, Apple Music. I don't know, but you can find her. Brittany Howard. It's called Lead Her Ship podcast. Um, and then her newer episodes are now talking about becoming the Proverbs 31 woman. I also listened to Powerball, Ashley Mayfield. Ashley is spelled very special. Ashleigh. Ashley Mayfield. She lit a fire in my butt in those early, and I listened to her podcast through because she stopped recording episodes. So I think I've listened to it completely through two or three times. Because with her, she will straight up get in your face of like, boo boo, what are you thinking? What are you doing? And you want this and you're not taking action? Why are you doing? And so I needed that. I needed I needed that tough love upline that doesn't actually know me because otherwise it would make me cry. If she actually saw what I was doing and then she criticized me, I'd start crying. But because I didn't know this lady, she challenged me in a way that made me want to dig deeper. So there's a lot of mindset development that goes into this early foundation because it is stinking hard to push through if you don't have your mind on right. If you're constantly battling that I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I'll never make it, girl, you're not gonna make it. At some point, we have to get past that hurdle. At some point. At some point, you have to be able to take your own thoughts captive and then be able to say, if she can do it, I can do it. God, that woman, all she does is show pictures of her kids. If she can do it, I can do it. Like that, like, with Trisha Rickards, like that woman, she, I mean, she's not beauty queen of the year. She's not the most charismatic. She's not the most well-spoken. And that woman has made it to the top of this company, not once, but twice. Not only for herself, but for her husband's account. Like she's stinking going for it over and over and over and over again. If she can do it, I can do it. The only difference between her and me is that she started before I did. But everything else, I can catch up because my little feet are gonna start like I'm going. We're going. And so those are those mindset things that we have to remember. I can do this because she did it. I can do it because they did it. And there is nothing about them that makes them more special than me. There is nothing about them that God would say, "I'll bless you and not you." Right? The Bible says, God says, I'm not a respecter of persons. He doesn't play favorites. You follow the rules of his promises, and he's going to lay his promises on you. He's not trying to trip you up. He's not trying to wreck you up. He doesn't want you to fail. He's a good God and a loving Father. So if we can lean into that of like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but God, you know. Holy Spirit, you've led many people to the top of this business. I'm going to trust in that. I'm going to lean into that and know that we can do it. We can do it. Um, so growth doesn't come from wishing. A challenge we want to follow. What is one action step that we can commit to daily that will move our business forward? What action steps can we do every day? Something simple. Something as simple as I can comment on 3 reels of a complete stranger. Done. I can go into my followers and engage in their stories. Done. I can look for someone who is showing a need that I can answer that question to. They're tired. They're overweight. They're angry, frustrated, bad sleep. They're what thyroid issues, autoimmune conditions, poor skin, breaking out. They have these red flags. It's like, hey, this might not be for you. If not, totally fine. But I think I know something that can help. And then let them reject you. If they don't want it, they don't want it. But just to be as simple as, hey, I see your problem. I think I have a solution for that problem. Are you open to hearing about it? And just put yourself out there. It's a very simple, and yes, you will get more no's than yeses, which is why this is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more chances of getting a yes. And even people who tell you no right now, there's a good chance they're going to come back around in a month when they built a relationship with you. Okay. So, bringing this back around, call to action. We want to encourage one another to think about what is holding what is holding us back. Most of the time it's mindset. And then we get trapped into the I don't know what to do. When you don't know what to do, the easiest thing you can do, go talk to someone. Just go make a new connection. Because IPA, income producing activity, is if you don't have any contacts to share Plexus with, you got to get some contacts to share Plexus with. We don't need to overcomplicate it. Who can I talk to today? Who can I encourage today? Who can I love on today? And who can I share this opportunity with because they're going to benefit from this? We want to be committed daily with intentional actions, not just busy work, but real income producing activities. So that's all I got for you right now. And I'd love to open up a little bit. We've got about 10 minutes in this where we can talk, maybe brainstorm. If you have questions, concerns, or what have you, I want to be able to address that together. So I'm going to pause the recording and we're going to spend the next 10 minutes or so just picking apart what has been keeping us from reaching our full potential. And